Hi there. This is Hi there. This is Cookin' Kitty. This is welcome to Shifterland episode number 82, and we're going to be investigating. We are going to be investigating it's a tutorial by Cookin' Kitty on golfing. I'm gonna go through some of the. I'm gonna go through a quick rundown of what you need to be a good golfer, and we're going to go through your stance. We're going to go through how you relate to the golf ball. We're going to deal with your pre-shot rituals, what you're going to do before you take your shot. We're going to talk about your swing, the back swing and the down swing, and then we got the putting, and then the short game, the putting, the chipping, and the that other thing I can't remember what it's called, but we're going to get to that. And so I'm going to share some of my personal one of my personal training techniques that I like to use is well, it's the gin and tonic. You gotta stay loose. You gotta be loose. Otherwise, you'll tight, you'll tension up, and your swing's gonna be off. It's not gonna work. But anyway, this is one of my training techniques that I like to use when I'm out golfing. You gotta stay loose. You gotta stay very, very loose. You don't want to tighten up. You don't want to be tense. You want everything to be very syrupy, fluid, all one motion. You don't want any jerkiness. Everything's got to be nice and smooth, like kind of like butter that's melting, just sort of liquidy, kind of like what happens when you pour vodka that's been sitting in the freezer, and then you pour that vodka, and the surface tension of it has chilled out a little bit, and it just kind of pours like a thick liquid. That's how you want to be when you're with your swing. You want to be like a very thick liquid. Oh boy. Anyway, we'll get on to some of the other training techniques a little later, but this is just one of my favorite, probably my favorite training technique right here is, like, for instance, one of the gems that they don't talk about, and you go and take a course somewhere or take a class or get a private tutor. One of the gems that I like to tell people when I instruct them on your weight should be evenly balanced between your left and right feet. You should also feel your weight evenly distributed between your heels and the balls of your feet. Bend slightly from the waist, allowing your arms to hang down in front of you. At this point, if you clasp your hands together, they should be about 8 to 10 inches away from your belt buckle. Use the distance of your hands from your belt buckle as a gauge to determine whether you are bent over at the waist too much or not enough. You want to make sure you drink at least 3 drinks on average a night. Three drinks a night, because when you're on tour and when you're done golfing during the day, there's a whole new set of fans, the fans that make all that noise that Tiger Woods is all upset about because they're rowdy and they like it's a sporting event, it's a public thing. Well, they don't want to be quiet. So anyway, you want to be able to go out and party, and then have a high enough tolerance for alcohol to be able to get up in the morning and not be bothered and be able to be calm and patient and get it on with your swing. So yeah, I suggest that you drink at least 3 drinks a day or at night to keep your tolerance up, so that you can have a good time around the tour and party with those the new breed of fans. Those guys who listen to music and wear colorful clothes and are very, very they're very loud compared to the old standards when there was shh, shh, shh. Anyway, this is Shifterland, Cooking Kitty for Shifterland, episode number 82, tutorial on golfing. Well, just to give you a few non-essential little trivia info about golf. I didn't know it, but golf was actually invented in Scotland, if you can believe that. And they have this country club or whatever, private country club in Scotland that is the motherlode, the birthplace of golf. In fact, a long time ago, golf was so prevalent, so important, or so people were so fanatic about it, like couple thousand years ago, 800 years ago, the king had to put a time limit on how long people could play golf, because the workers would they would stop working because they were so eager to go play golf. They would like leave work early and stuff. So the king had to put time limits on when golf could be played because it was so popular. And that was way back then. Just think how popular it is now with all the advertising and all the money involved. It's just skyrocketed. And you got the ball itself. It has all these little dimples in it, and those dimples are what creates loft. When you hit a golf ball, that creates kind of like an airplane, how a curved wing creates a sort of like undercurrent of air pressure that the plane rides on. Well, the golf ball rides on a current of pressure that is made by all these little dimples in the golf ball. And the golf ball, by the way, in case you were just curious about some of the data, some of the facts, it's 1.68 inches in diameter. That's the diameter. A little over an inch and a half in diameter. And I've been told that roughly there are, depending on the style of golf ball you get, there's anywhere from like 250 to 500 dimples per on one golf ball. And I guess maybe the more dimples you have, maybe it's better. Well, it can't be that, but it just depends on how you like to hit the ball, probably how many dimples you might have on your golf ball. And another thing, golfing might be potentially, it's considered to be a Republican thing. We got a presidential campaign going on, and I'll tell you one thing right now. I got a little bit of a crush on Sarah Palin, because that she's a Republican vice president candidate. She's sexy. Those glasses, and if she put her hair up in chopsticks, she kind of reminds me of that woman, the wife of the Sopranos. And her voice is pretty hot too. And then not to mention in that her voice is pretty sexy. And man, when they showed that footage of her shooting that assault rifle with a scope on it, God, that was sexy. It really turned me on. I got a bona fide crush on Sarah Palin. I don't know what to do because, I'm voting for Obama. Cooking Kitty, what do you call it when you support or? Anyway, I'm voting for Obama, and it's kind of a bummer that I got a little bit of crush on Sarah Palin, because I find her to be actually pretty sexy, and maybe it's just because I'm attracted to women in power. I don't know, but some of her policies are a little bit rough. Like she wants to kill polar bears and drill for oil, and she's against abortion. And oh, don't forget, she was really a large opponent or a proponent of creationism taught in public schools. Now, I don't know about separation in church and state. I don't know what's happening here, but it seems a little bit odd to me. And I don't know how a grown-up could believe in creationism. I don't know how a sane person could believe that the God made all this stuff. I'm a spiritual person, and I feel like there's stuff that exists that we can't explain or can't believe in. But I don't believe in creationism. I'm a evolutionary guy, Darwin, and so yeah, her teaching the creationism in school is putting a little bit of a damper on my crush. But it's still holding in there strong. I gotta stay tuned and see if how many stupid things she might say on her way to potentially. Oh, and there's another thing I wanted to say. We live in Cooking Kitty. We live in Seattle here. I'm in Seattle, and I'm pretty much kind of the king of passive aggressive. It's not my fault I grew up in a place that churns out passive aggressive man after man after man, passive aggressive. Anyway, oh God, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, people here, people in Seattle are all for, you know, we always, it doesn't really matter, we always elect a Democratic, vote for the Democratic president, you know, and everyone here is super, super hot for Obama, and that's super awesome, but the people in Seattle sort of have their heads in their asses because they don't realize, some people, because they don't realize that there's a whole nother rest of the country out there. You know, we're on one little corner, one of the last areas of the frontier before this great country started, and you know, they want to. A lot of people in this country want to vote for McCain. They want to have war, and they want to vote there, and they want to vote for Palin. And so people in Seattle got to realize that it's not just a given because Obama is so great that he's actually going to win. I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's a fucked up country, so why not have a fucked up president? Hi there. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you I was going to do this. Hi there. This is Cooking Kitty, and I'm going to. We're going to start off with your stance, because that's the. We're going to start off with your stance, how you should stand while you're getting ready to swing at the ball. Not whack. You don't want to whack. You don't want to whack at the ball. You don't want to whack at it. So anyway, we're going to work at the stance, and then we're going to work on your little ritual called your pre-shot. What you want to do every time before you take a swing, you want to have a little ritual to calm yourself down, and if you do it the same every time, you will create something called muscle memory. That way, when you come up to take your swing, you don't have to think about anything. All you have to do is come up and you just do it because it's so natural. So you got to just do it a lot and get used to doing it all the time, and do it the same way every time. That way, there'll be no surprises. Your ball won't hook or slice. Hook or slice. But me dyslexic, I don't know. Hook left or right, slice left or right. One of the two. Kind of the same thing with boats. Starboard, port. I don't know. Anyway, let's work on the stance and a little bit on our pre-shot routine, okay? The design of each of the clubs will determine where you set up the ball in relation to your body. The longer clubs, such as the driver, will need a ball positioned farther away from the body, whereas the shorter clubs, such as the sand wedge, will require the ball to be set up much closer to the body. Another thing to consider is whether the ball should be played closer to your left foot, your right foot, or right in the middle of your stance. This again depends on the type of club used. As a rule, the longer the club, the more to the left you should place the ball. Hi there, this is Cooking Kitty, and we are going to Hi there, this is Cooking Kitty, and we're going to get to the stance and some information that have become helpful on how you get ready to swing the swing, to launch the ball into outer space. That's what we're all about here. You want to hit it the farthest, the longest, right? Right. So anyway, we're going to work on the stance and your pre-swing routine. This is something that I do at home, but I'm just sharing you. Usually I do this at home before I come out, but I do this to every one of my golf balls. Before I get to the course at home, what I do is I do this little prayer. This is one of the rituals that I do at home, is before I go out to the course, is I get each golf ball in the same mood that I'm in. Anyway, so let's move on to our stance. It's a pretty simple thing. Basically, you want to have your feet shoulder width apart, and if you got I got here as a driver. What I got here is the driver. You got your drivers and your long irons. The long irons being like the 1 and the 2 and the 3 irons. These are all for long distances when you're in the fairway or teeing off on shorter courses. And then you have the medium and shorter irons, like the this right here is it's a 1 wood. It's an old school 1 wood, not iron. It's a 1 wood. Anyway, it's a longer. The ones that hit it further, the drivers and the long irons, they're longer. So you have to be anyway. Where you I'll get back to the stance. When if you're working with the woods or a long iron, the golf ball is going to be closer to your left foot. And then if you start working in the middle irons, it's very natural actually. You don't even need all this stuff. It all comes totally natural. If you start using the middle irons, like a 6 iron or a 7 or a 9 iron, the ball is going to be closer to the middle where you're at. And or not all the way to the middle, but then for the wedge and that kind of stuff, for chip shots, ball's going to be in the middle. But for the longer ones, it's just right over close to the left foot. So you just want to make sure you keep your knees bent a little bit. And what you want to do is you want to have your right foot perpendicular to your target line, like where the ball is going to go. You want to keep your right foot perpendicular. You want to have your left foot turned out 20 degrees. I don't know why, 20 degrees, but so then, yeah, right foot perpendicular, left foot 20 degrees out. Shoulders, hips, feet square to the ball, perpendicular to your target line. That's another thing about target line. Golf is like everything about golf. There's metaphors about abounding for life in golf. And for instance, target line. Another thing that makes me target line. One metaphor that brings to me is that when you got a soldier from the United States government, and he's over there in Iraq, and he's got his assault rifle or with a scope or some sort of machine gun, and he's got his target pass. He's got his target line to some person that he's shooting for some particular reason, because our government thinks that we need to go over there and kill people. So anyway, that's just another. I don't know. That's why I think golf is kind of a violent thing. People don't know it, but golf's pretty violent. I mean, target line. It's just like you're aiming your missile towards the enemy. It's kind of like that a little bit. I don't know. All right, we can stop for a second. That's the first part. That's the first part of whenever you get into your pre-shot ritual. The first thing you want to do, come up there, give her a practice swing. First thing you want to do is give her a practice swing. And then, if you're at a club, a private club where I don't know, depending on the club you're at, private. That's a whole nother issue. Private versus public clubs, but at any point, at any time, when you feel the need to drink, I advise you to do so. The second thing you should do in your pre-shot thing is you should address the ball. See, this gets where it gets kind of really weird. Like, I know how to address my drink. Like, I'm familiar. Hello, Mr. Gin and Tonic. My name is the Shifter. My name is Nick Shiflet. My name is Cookin' Kitty, the creator and brainchild of Shifterland. Anyway, I know how to address my drink. Hello, Mr. Gin and Tonic. Nice to meet you. But the golf ball is so foreign and so strange. It's such a little strange little white creature. I feel sometimes it intimidates me and it scares me, and so I'm a little unsure what to do with it. But somehow you're supposed to become friends with your ball, with your golf ball. And anyway, okay, all right. You can just keep on filming. Keep on filming. Okay. So the next thing that you want to do is that you want to visualize your shot. So, you know, you just get behind your ball and wherever it's landed, and you just get behind there and you visualize your shot. Visualize swinging, visualize making contact with the ball, visualize the ball flying through the air at approximately 170 miles per hour, professionals anyway, when it leaves the golf head. Anyway, so you want to envision where your golf ball is going to land. You want to envision it flying through the air and exactly where you want it to go. So anyway, so yeah, you want to take a practice shot. You want to visualize what the flight of the ball, and you also want to, after that, you want to take aim. So, you know, but a lot of them, you know, a lot of those professionals, you don't, they cut this part out when they're filming. Even though it's live, they have this magic trick where they cut stuff out. But you know, you want to just get down there, figure out where your ball is going to go. And then the fourth thing, there's this other weird thing they call the waggle. I got a lot of waggle. Anyway, just sort of to loosen up before you actually take your swing, you want to the waggle. Waggling the club head back and forth several times accomplishes several things. First, it relaxes your arm muscles, helping to prevent excess tension from ruining the swing to come. Second, it gives your body a dynamic act to perform instead of just standing there, frozen in fear. Keeping some part of your body moving helps prevent your mind from generating negative thoughts. The waggle actually makes the golf swing more like a reactive baseball swing. Instead of being static and fearful, you are looser and more reactive, almost as if you were waiting for a pitch. The waggle also helps you practice the first part of the backswing. You want to waggle the golf ball back into your club back and forth just a little bit. Just waggle it back and forth just a little bit. That sort of just gets you into a repetitive motion that you're comfortable with, and you're at peace, and you're ready to unleash all the power you have. Because that's what it's all about, unleashing all the power that you have. The final thing is what one instructor referred to me as pulling the trigger. I mean, once again, this country is all about warfare. It's like, why do they gotta pull it to trigger? Why is, like, everything, it's like, anyway, that, I don't know why. Why does everything gotta be so military? I don't understand. But we're gonna move on to the actual swing now, because I know some of you might be getting a little bored now, so we're gonna move on to the mechanics of the swing. All right, here's one of the most standard grips that is used in golf today. There's a couple other grips. For example, well, anyway, here, get it. You can point at this. Yeah, this is the most common. It's called the Verdona. It's the most common grip that there is. Anyway, a colleague of mine by the name of Colleen, she uses the baseball grip. That's where neither of your hands overlap, and it's like you're like that, and you're swinging a baseball bat. But anyway, this is what you would refer to as, this is the most common grip used. Anyway, you have your hand right there, the golf club kind of comes along the palm, and then it comes down to the fingers, and then you grip it like that, and then you bring the other one up here, and you have your thumb in that little crease, and then you have your, oh, there you go. You have your pinky right up there. Anyway, so when you come up to the ball and you're getting ready, to swing, you know, to actually hit the ball, which we're going to eventually get to, you have the takeaway. When you get into your waggle, you get ready, and the takeaway is what happens when you start your backswing. You go, the takeaway, you want to have that nice and slow and low and mellow, very slow, and you want to have it very low. And you just want to go back, very, very easy. Keep your left arm straight as possible, but you want to keep it relaxed, but straight but not stiff. That's what they like to say, straight but not stiff. And then what happens? So you'll go back, and then your right elbow will kind of tuck into your chest. And also, as you do the backswing part, as you go back, you want to transfer your weight to your right foot. So you want to make sure that you transfer your weight to your right foot. You know, I just kind of do it naturally. You don't even think about it, but that's what you're supposed to do. Transfer the weight to the right foot. So you go up, and if you're in the proper position, your club and your back should be pointed in the direction that you want the ball to go. So don't worry, I'm not going to hit the ball, Yossi. And so yeah, you want to go back nice and easy and slow, and then when you get to your top position, your right leg should be bent a little bit, and it should also be, you should have most of your weight on that right leg too. It may seem a little unfamiliar at first. So you bring your club back, and you twist your torso. Your torso should be parallel or perpendicular to the ball, 90 degrees to the ball, perpendicular, and your waist should be at about a 45-degree angle. So that's all the mechanics of your backswing in a nutshell. The key thing is that you want to make sure. The backswing is the first part of the whole swing picture, and is possibly the most important because it sets up and defines everything to follow. If you have a lousy backswing, everything else will fall apart, causing a poor shot. Do it right, though, and you tremendously increase your chances of making a great shot. You want to make sure that you stay nice and loose. Like, you don't want to, like, you just, if anything, the backswing is so important. It just seems to flourish. If any little thing goes wrong with your backswing, the rest of the swing, the downswing, when you come down to actually hit the ball, it's gonna be like something that's laying in the I don't know, what would you call it? It's gonna be in the kitty litter box of life. The kitty litter box of life. If your downswing, I mean your backswing is so important. It sets up. I mean, the whole thing is important from the beginning to the end. But if your backswing gets screwed up and it's off kilter, once you start swinging, there's nothing you could do. You're screwed. You're fucked. If your backswing isn't right, nothing's going to go right at all. It's going to be wrong from the rest of the way, and the ball's not going to go where you want it to go, and you're going to be screwed, and your handicap's going to skyrocket. Handicap is well, that's a story for another day. The beginning of the backswing should feel as if you are turning your body and simply taking your arms and hands along with it. Try not to initiate the action with your arms and hands because they often go back on a different plane each time if you allow them to move on their own. Just let your torso control the show and you should be fine. By the way, it's another thing you want to be, there's all sorts of different places that have different etiquettes, and I found out that the safest thing to do, there's a lot of places that are so concerned about, their profits. I mean, golf clubs are out there to be profitable. They want to make a profit. They're a business. That's why the Republicans, that's what it's all about. It's all about making money. That's why McCain's theme, prosperity. What the fuck does that mean? McCain's theme is like, I go to his website of his theme is prosperity. Why? What is that? Who's that prosperity for? What's that all about? Prosperity. It's probably, I mean, if I recall what the Republican agenda is, it's prosperity for the people who have like obscene, or maybe not obscene amounts of wealth, but they have enough wealth and they're already prospering, and he just wants them to prosper more. I think that's what his term prosperity is all about. The thing I want to get at, some clubs, they don't let you use metal spikes no more, like in the old days. You got your golf shoes. You want to invest in some shoes that have, rubber. Evidently, some of these finicky places are concerned that the metal spikes are chewing up their putting greens too much. So, if you want to make things easier on yourself, I would suggest getting some rubber cleats. Also, make sure that you have proper attire if you want to go to dinner at the club after you do a round of golf, because you want to make sure that you got a sports coat and a tie, because that's the only way you're going to get in. The downswing. The downswing. The downswing is the main attraction, the moment of truth. It is when all the action of the swing really starts. While the backswing should feel slow, smooth, controlled, the downswing should convey a feeling of release and of graceful, accelerating yet unhurried power. All right, we could, okay.
Sorry. Can I move away now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even close to hitting you. All right, here, I'm gonna get those things. You can stop.
Recording.
Hi there, this is Cookin' Kitty, and what we're gonna work on now is the downswing. The whole reason why we're here, because you want to send that ball as far as you can get. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's another war thing. It's like the Republicans. It's like, you want to hit that ball as far as possible, almost like it's a missile that you're sending into another country to destroy it. That's how hard and far you want to hit this ball. But anyway, when you do hit this ball or this missile, like the Republicans like to do, you got to do it nice and easy. You can you got to be nice and relaxed, and I don't know what else. Whatever you do, what you want to do is you want to start your downswing. You want to start your downswing from your hips. You start turning your hips. You turn your hips, and then when you turn your hips, your torso, and then your shoulders, and then your elbows, and then your arms, and then your wrists. Don't bend the wrist though. Don't bend the wrist wherever you do. Keep your wrists nice and cocked and steady. So anyway, you just bend at the hips and uncoil your body. That's what happens. You need to coil your body up. When you go up towards your backswing, basically what you're doing is you're loading up your body like a spring into a coil. And then at the top, you unwind that coil, and on the downswing, you bring your club down and you smack the ball. But you don't want to smack it, you just want to hit it. Basically what you want to do is you want to pretend that the ball's not even there. That's the best thing, because golf, like the Matrix, is a metaphor for life. So it's just like the Matrix, like that little scene where the spoon is not there, whatever, that thing. Well, what you want to do when you come up to the ball, it really help you if you just actually picture that the ball isn't even there. Just let the ball accidentally be in the way of the club. The ball is just, the ball is not the object. The object is your swing. And by the way, when I was doing some research at the driving range recently, I went there to hit a bucket of balls, and it's amazing what golfing can do for you. I'd highly recommend it to anyone, Republican, Democratic, or Independent. Because I found out as I was hitting that bucket of balls that I became so relaxed. All my worries just simply melted away. All I was concerned about was hitting the ball. That was the only thing. All the worries about my sponsors and my ratings and my income and all sorts of stuff. All those worries just melted away because I was concerned about golfing. It was spiritual. Golfing is a very spiritual thing. You can't be worried about. You can't be worried about what's going on. You can't be worried about what you're doing. You just want to be nice and easy and relaxed. Swing from the hips, move your hips, and then just uncoil all the energy that you've stored on your right. It's from the ground up on your right foot. The energy comes from your right foot all the way up your leg into the torso. Then you swing your hips. When you swing your hips, that moves your shoulders and your arms that are connected to your hands that are connected to the golf club, and boom, out she goes. So I'll show you just a few. You want to make sure that at all times that you have your eyes focused on the ball. That's just the obvious thing. Keep your eyes focused on the ball. And well, another thing I like to do to stay in shape is that you don't see a lot of golfers using this technique. It's another secret from Cooking Kitty. I'll show you what it is right now. You're supposed to hit I don't know if this is going to work. You're supposed to hit these things.
I'm still recording, you know that, right?
I know. In effect, your entire body is now going to uncoil itself from the hips up. Think of a twisted rubber band in a toy airplane uncoiling and releasing its energy into the propeller. Don't worry about your arms and hands. They should be the last part of you to turn. As your hips begin turning, they'll naturally pull your torso and shoulders along, which will in turn bring along your arms, hands, and club. The club head should be the very last thing to move on the downswing. Besides drinking the gin and tonics, that's another one of my training techniques. It's that I don't rely on a golf range to collect my balls. I hit my balls. When I hit my balls, I run after them and get them. Do you see how that ball went straight? That was a 7-iron. Anyway. Can I do that one more time?
Mm.
Okay, you can stop. God damn it! Hi there, this is Cooking Kitty. What you just saw is what happens when you don't have your emotions under control. It's not about your emotions. You just have to let everything melt away. Hi there, this is Cooking Kitty. And when I can't deal with my emotions, I resort to two things. Drinking and exercising. But this country, that's the fucked up part. This country does not know how to do with its emotions, because what it does, when it can't deal with its own emotions and it thinks, oh, our rights are being trampled on, or oh, some other country is bothering us, we send our fucking military over there and drop a bunch of bombs on them. What the, I mean, I'm really upset that Russia has invaded those little countries on the edge of them, those little countries that are trying to break away, because right now, the only thing is that, you know, the United States is the bad guy. We're the one fucking up. We're invading another country, and we've been doing it for so long, and you know, now Russia's doing it, so they're going to take away some of the world's going to focus on Russia for a little bit. But I lost train of my thought. That's the third thing you can do, is resort to anger and violence. Never, ever, ever Your golf swing is never going to improve if you resort to violence or anger. What you have to do is every time you come up to a shot, you have to let all of your emotions just sink away, and you just become calm, like a lake with no wind, no ripples, just a calm sheet of water. You want to go up there cool as a cucumber. You don't want to be full of anger, what you just saw. Okay. Hi there, this is Cooking Kitty here, and I want to share with you another one of my my training tips. One of my training tips, what I do each morning when I get up in the morning, I go into the bathroom, I shuffle my paws, I go into the bathroom, and I look into the mirror, and I look at myself in the mirror, right into my eyes, and I say to myself 3 times in a distinct, strong voice. I say to myself, Cooking Kitty, I say, what do we want? Accuracy and power. What do we want? Accuracy and power. What do we want? Accuracy and power. Well, it's not. Hi there, this is...
Sorry.
That was my fault. This is Cooking Kitty here. Hello there. And there's a few more, I've glossed over a lot of things, but, to tell the truth, this whole thing, the mechanics is the easy part. The hard part is the mental game. That's why I employ heavy use of the gin and tonic, because it allows you to get to the more truer inner being of yourself. Have a few drinks while you're on the course, and you'll be able to center yourself and go a little bit more inside to who you are. And then there's a few more things, called the short game. You got the putting, that's obviously where you're on the green, and then you also have the chip. God, I can't never remember the chip and what's the other one? Anyway, you got the chip, a little short shot. It's called the short game, and truth be told, the short game is way more important than, everybody wants to be like a man. It's like everything's got to be faster, longer, harder. In fact, that's one of the things when you're on the green. It's when you're on the green putting, there's a thing called I don't know, how hard is too hard? How hard? You just need to practice. When you're putting, basically you have 18 holes, and half that time you're going to be on the green, unless you're a pro. And so you want to spend half your time practicing on your putts. But the thing is that all the males out there, all the men, they want to go out there and they want to get their titanium driver, their thing that's going to rocket that ball all the way down as far away they can into another universe. And the problem is that half the game doesn't even have to do with sending the ball as far as you can. It's a short game. As you get closer and closer to the green, that you got to be precise with those short little chip shots in your putting. That's the thing. So you want to spend at least half your time practicing the short game, and more specifically, you should spend at least half your time working on your putting, because you're going to be spending half the time on the green putting. It makes sense. But most people go out there because they find that, kind of like an orgasm, they find that most of their satisfaction by swinging the club as hard as you can and then sending the ball as far as you can. But the thing is you don't want to swing as hard as you can. That's a myth. That the harder you swing, the more you're going to fuck up. You don't want to swing hard. It's nice and easy. Just been doing is practicing with the 9-iron right now, and if I was rich enough, I would have the wedge. But we're practicing some of our bunker shots because it's a fine balance. Because you want to get juiced up, you want to. That's another thing. I'm in there in the store. There's a ball. The golf balls are expensive, and there's one called juice. Juice. You know what I mean? Juice. This ball's got the juice. Anyway, if you end up sometimes going too far, I mean, you do want to drink your gin and tonics while you are golfing, and while after golfing, and before golfing. But if you go a little bit too far, you might end up having to do a lot of bunker shots because you indulge a little bit too far, and you're not focused, and you're too loose. That's the thing. It's such a fine thing. You don't want to be tight. You don't want to be rigid. You don't want to be stiff. You want to be fluid. You want to be smooth. You want to be relaxed. Most people are way too tight. Majority of people are way too tight. So you want to make sure. Well, yeah. If you go too far in the other way and you do a little bit too much drinking, you might find yourself in a bunker. And so when you're in the bunker, when you're doing some bunker sand shots, what you want to do is that you want to just do a half swing. You don't want to do a full swing, and you want to move your wrists a little bit, because when you want to move your wrists a little bit, and you want to have the club come below and hit below the ball, pop it up high into the air, and then when it lands, it's going to have some backspin on it, and then it's going to stay right where it lands. So on these shots, on the bunker shots, you want to have a lot of backspin on it, so they pop high in the air, and then they just drop and land. That's if the bunker is close to the green. If you're on the fairway, you have to use a different kind of bunker shot, which is called the explosive shot, where you once again you go under it, but not much is under it, and you hit it harder, and that they call that the explosive bunker shot.